in the dead air, still in the dead air. Do-do-do-do.
Happy,
Do-do-do-do.
happy Wednesday, everybody. This is Alpha,
And this is Ferret.
and we are back to finish this damn Forsaken Island. So, where we left you last time, I was having a lot of trouble with the fluid weights on the expert level. I didn't bother recording this because there isn't much to see aside from pretty much what you saw. I eventually did manage to figure one of those configurations out. It's convoluted as all hell. I had to indeed dive into algebra, and I was really trying to avoid that approach.
I was telling you that was the only real solution.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to full screen this now. Hopefully this works. Just a moment, folks.
Although, this, speaking of filling dead air, this brings me to my question. So it seems obvious to me, as an omni-genius, that algebra is the best way to solve this fluid weights problem.
Yes.
Because I can see that the shortest path to the solution is through algebra.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what is the proper non-guess and check way to mathematically, scientifically, efficiently solve the goddamn magic number squares.
Well,
Because like if you sat me down and said, find the most efficient way to do this, I would just shrug and guess and check the whole thing through, because I don't see a better way.
yeah,
But
neither
pretty
do I, to be
sure-
perfectly honest, especially when you have randomized solutions like that.
But there has to be a better way. Like, there has to be a better way.
Let me think a minute. So, basically the idea is plugging in numbers to make them add up to a certain total.
Mm-hmm. Like, in my mind, if I were gonna write a computer program to solve that, it would literally just brute force it, because I can't think of a more efficient methodology to get to the solution.
Well, have you ever played the puzzle called Kakuro Cross Sums?
Nietski.
Okay, so it's kind of an offshoot of Sudoku where instead of plugging in 1 through 9 so that nothing repeats in row, column, or block, it's basically the same thing as that magic square we dealt with in this game, where it'll give you a total for a row or a column, resembling a crossword puzzle. And basically that represents for that little segment of row or column what the total has to be. So you pretty much have to guess and check brute force that way. Otherwise, I mean, how much more fundamental can you get than arithmetic as far as calculation? Like, I can't.
Basic operations is more basic, but
Right, but I can't think of an actual scientific method to solve something like that, because to do that you'd need a certain amount of known information, and all you have known is what's the sum total of this segment and how many numbers do you need, and where does it line up with other rows and columns, like where do they intersect and have multiple consequences, none of which really helps with finding like a formula method for it, you know? If anybody watching out there can think of such a formula for, or a solution or program for doing something like the magic square, by all means please present it, because I don't have it in my head. Just one more second, I need to bring the chat forward in case people decide to speak.
little chatto.
Also, while I had it on full screen, were you able to see a big version of that window? Are you able to see just
big version of that window? Which is that window?
Are you able to see just the game, or mostly
Yes.
the game? Okay, good. That's what I was after. It's showing up in OBS just fine, so people can see that normally.
Yep. Awesome.
So having solved the fluid weights pretty much by algebraic brute force, we now move on to this next elevator puzzle. So this in my personal estimation, like the text explanation, is entirely too verbose and can be explained in much easier terms, as I did while we were testing this out. Oh wait. Okay, so subtract the weight of the elevator from the weight of the counterweight and divide the answer by 25 for the gear ratio. Okay. Alright, so...
Man, these are some math nerds trying desperately to explain a complex mathematical engineering problem to lay people.
Yeah.
And saying, go forth!
So subtract the elevator weight from the counterweight. So 1017 minus 904 turns into what?
Oh, are you asking me?
Yes.
113?
Correct. And then it said divide that by 25.
No.
It does not divide. It does not divide evenly. But
okay.
It seems to me as though they're banking on a half, which, if they're going purely on distance and rounding, they have it rounded down.
Okay,
up.
so it's 4.5.
4.5. Yeah. So that would be the gear ratio, which means that the top gear, or rather the bottom gear, needs to be 4.5 times what the top gear would be. So among 5 tops and 5 bottoms, we have to find a pair of numbers.
The 126 will move backwards from that. No, not the one. No, yes, the 126.
All right. So divide that by 4.5, and what do we get?
$28.
Yeah, as it happens, I do believe we've spiked it right on the head. Yeah?
Like I said, I am an Omni genius.
Okay, so explain to me how you got, explain to me how you came up with 126. Like, did you already have that math in your head, or?
I was looking for things that would divide by 4.5 into an even number. It just took me a second to figure out what that number was.
Hey, that's one way to do it. Well, we're done there. So now we head into the...
I can wait no longer. Please bring it soon. Remember, I'm counting on you.
His battery, by the way.
His volcano, by the way.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Is it? Okay. So here's the deal. Oh shit, I just realized something.
What?
I need my information document too, otherwise I kind of utterly annihilate the purpose of this series. Info. I'm gonna put this over on my other screen that I can actually read. Bring this full screen back up. Okay, so here's the deal. We all remember the robot hand programming maze sequence where you got the 3 items with the 3 hands, right? From the castle?
Sure, said the audience.
The program. Do you remember the programming room?
Me? Oh yeah, programming
Yes.
room
Yeah.
was by far my most favorite part of Castle of Dr. Brain, and I was so mad because my sister went and solved it while I was asleep. She snuck out of bed to go solve that puzzle. And I hadn't figured out how to go back and play it again.
How rude.
Indeed.
Well, we have that kind of puzzle again. Over here you notice 3 cartridges, each of which does a different thing to the program. Just like in the castle, where you had the heads breaking after so many, on novice level, the cartridges never blew out. On standard, they blow out after 2 successful programs or deliveries. And this time, you've only got 1 use of each of these cartridges. So what we'll do for the sake of explanation is use the normal one first, the purple. Stick that into the back of his head. We pretty much know what we got to do here. So here's the robot. Here's the red X.
Down. We have to burn them all down.
Yep. Here's the red X, which represents our destination for each of these 3 crates.
Top secret crates.
Top secret crates, yes. We don't know what's in these things until we actually open them up. So, the deal is this. We pick one of these 3 crates, first of all. Where do we go with the normal cartridge?
The most difficult. So probably the one with the most twists and turns. So I would say magenta.
You say magenta? Okay.
Yeah. What are the green squares?
Oh, the little dots in between each spot?
No. So in the.
Oh, these boys.
Yeah.
These are monitors. They
Those
become
are the ones.
Yeah.
That mess up the one of the 2. Which one do they mess up?
These become important for the yellow cartridge, and that will be demonstrated.
Okay, so then the yellow cartridge will get the green, and the other cartridge will get the orange.
So
Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me. So for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to display, if it lets me on this cartridge, how the monitors work. So, I will go forward, right. Oh, whoops, that's a move as opposed to a turn. Okay. Get rid of that. Actually, you know what? I want to see if it watches a monitor just by facing it while next to it. So let's just do that. Yeah, I guess not. Alright. Let's do this instead. Because I'm not going to be playing with proper programs this way. So, just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to play a program that goes past all these monitors. The yellow cartridge gives the robot an impulse to go back and look at a monitor that it went by after so many steps. And it messes up the program accordingly. Alright, so now that we've seen what that does, let's proceed like normal. Now you said magenta with this normal cartridge. Still with me, Ferret? Ferret. You might be muted. You awake over there? Oh, we seem to have had a signal break here. Give me a moment, folks. I'm going to see if I can fix... Hello.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now.
Alright, that was really annoying.
What happened?
Damn, Alpha's being really cold about interrupting me today. That's fine, whatever. He's the host, he can do what he wants.
Nah, I wouldn't do that if I couldn't hear you.
And then you were like, you there? You there? I was like, God damn it, Skype!
Yeah. So it must have just clicked. By the way, did this freeze at any point during?
No. Everything was cool the whole way through.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe it was your fault all along.
It's possible. I was using a different version.
I mean, let's be real. We're either going to blame Skype or we're going to blame Skype. Because it's either my Skype or your Skype, and we're both...
I blame Microsoft.
Yeah.
Just a moment.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Do it right.
Indeed.
We can do it, Alpha. Do it tonight.
Poetry. Okay. Think I know what I'm doing. So, basically, it's a system of forward and backward moving and left and right turning. So you have to think about this from driver's perspective, basically, which way the robot is facing. So where he starts out facing forward, he now faces left after this turn. So bearing that, 2 steps forward. Hey, there's a wall. Turn right. Step forward, turn left. Forward 3 steps. Turn right, forward once, left, forward once, right. Puts us right in front of that box. So now we pick it up.
Yoink!
And now we can turn right to go the other direction and basically go back all that way as previously done. Make sure you're facing in the right direction. And then drop it as soon as you're just before the X. And if you've done it right, you'll see it. Hey! A silver key. Oh, can we still use this? Well, I could have been mistaken.
What is more difficult?
Oh, more difficult? Easily trying to navigate backwards. Backwards commands like with this.
I meant more like, what is more difficult about hard rather than normal?
So far that's undetermined. It might be the fact that the monitors are all clumped into one place, but that seems to only take effect should you use the yellow cartridge. Because, I mean, remember in our trial run on standard, these were much more dispersed.
Yeah. Like, this looks much easier than the normal one that we did in our trial run.
Yeah, it's certainly easier to dodge with a longer route. So on this green cartridge, you'll notice some bugs on these lines. That means that the command will be reversed on that line. So you have to do a little bit of extra forward thinking. So are we going to go after... Which one did you say for this?
This is
The green,
this is the one that interacts with monitors.
No, this is the buggy cartridge that reverses some of the
orange.
controls. Alright, so we're going for orange. That means we start with a left turn, which does not have a bug on it. Now this command does. So, actually no. Why am I doing that? We don't have to dodge the monitors. So, we can just move a step forward and a step backwards. Turn left, forward, right, forward, left, put down, turn right, forward, left, forward, right, forward, backward, pick up. Makes sense, right? Finishing the program with pick up.
Well.
I mean, it worked.
All right.
Alright. We've demonstrated yellow. I say we may as well make life easy for ourselves. Oh dear. It has burned out, but I don't think it ever actually showed that. I didn't see any smoke display, did you?
I didn't.
Insidious.
So this is difficulty. Not
Indeed.
giving us all the information, making us guess and check.
So much. Okay, so since we're not going to be passing the monitors, this is just a normal program. We're going to take that long straight path off to the left. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Pretty long program, isn't it? Oh, bollocks. Again. Ferret. Oh, there you are.
Oh, sorry.
You blame
No,
what now?
I'm still with you.
Okay.
I haven't died yet.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it. Genetic material.
Congratulations! You have earned a gold programming plaque.
So, now that we've done this, we insert this genetic canister into here. So we're going to play with genetics here.
No.
Now,
Also, can we reset the video stream, because I haven't seen any of your programming. I've just been trusting that you've been doing it correct, because it's been frozen this whole time.
seriously?
Yep.
Damn it. Wish I... Oh, fucking...
I mean, it's not frozen for anyone but me.
Yeah, no,
So-
I've been watching this whole time, but still, it's really fucking annoying.
But if I want to input on the puzzles, I'm gonna have to actually see what's going on.
Yeah.
Especially since we're getting to the point where we're gonna be looking at paintings.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. Can you see my hand cursor moving now?
No, I see a spinning Skype. I am loading something.
I am so
Okay.
sick of this. I can't seem to get any program to function right.
Listen, it's fine. Here's what we do.
Huh.
We go to Seattle, we kidnap a bunch of Microsoft engineers, and we just beat them with jumper cables until they fix the problem.
I
Because
wouldn't.
they probably think that there's a perfectly good reason why it does this. And to their engineer brains, it makes perfect sense.
I wouldn't be beating them with jumper cables. If I'm doing anything with jumper cables, I'm hooking it up to sensitive parts of anatomy, and setting batteries on the other side.
They're engineers, Alpha. They don't have sensitive parts of anatomy.
So you're
Not at
saying
least
if
any that they use. Ho ho ho!
Oh, good. So you understand that I'm aiming for fried testicles here. A little something I saw on wrestling when I was a kid once.
Wrestling?
Yes.
Alright. Well, they took your job, and they took my video feed, so I'm gonna rejigger the call.
Yes, good move. Okay.
Rejiggering.
Okay, let's reestablish quickly.
Reestablish jigger.
Do you see? Do you hear?
I see. I hear.
Good, let me get this out the way.
Move, Skype. Get out the way.
Do you-
Alright, so what are we trying to do?
Do you see the hand?
What's our goal?
Do you see the hand moving?
Yes, I see the hand moving.
Okay, so on novice, all we had to do was find 2 parents to get this ideal genetic code. On standard, we had to find the grandparents as well, and then breed for all possible children. This time, we do not get the picture of what the ideal child looks like. We did the
But
first
we
2
do
skills.
get the more important thing, which is
The
the
genetic
genotype.
codes, correct. Okay, so here's what we need. We need parent 1 to have a first half dominant body. So that's one of these 3. A first half recessive body.
That looks pretty good other than the M's.
Yeah.
Also lacking in the M department. And the A. But I mean, we're gonna breed some things out.
Yeah. So let's go with that first. And over here.
What were the... Okay, so...
Okay, this seems pretty elegant. Okay, now we want, if we can get it, something pretty much maximally recessive. If I can possibly make that happen.
Well, we want the E and the M. The E and the M can be non-recessive.
Can be dominant, yeah.
Does it not like your pairing?
I'm trying to figure out
How to breed the grandparents?
Oh, there we go, there we go.
Alright, what we got?
We got it on the first try.
Congratulations. You have earned
Okay.
the gold genetics plaque.
So basically we had to... It was basically a matchup of more versus less dominant versus which side of the genetics. And I somehow managed to figure that one out on the first go. Going pretty much maximum recessive versus maximum dominant. This seems a little advanced for the target audience. I think, personally.
I don't know. I like how they pair different physical characteristics with the genetic genotype. I like how they attach the phenotype to a genotype and allow you to really see that.
Mm.
That's just me.
So this key opens this elevator, which takes us down to...
Is it the art room?
It is the art room.
Do you still have all of the answers?
I do. I just have
Okay.
to... Hopefully this doesn't screw up the video feed too much. I have to open up the refit. So I have this going. Alright, allow me to open up the painting file. There we go.
Huh.
So, for this art recognition, let me just say now, on Novice we had to identify 6 paintings by each of these 6 artists. I'll get through the order in just a moment. Standard we had to get 12, and I would imagine we have to get this full wall of 18 on Expert.
Mm-hmm.
So I really hope my eyes are working for this one. And
Now-
are you still able to see the hand moving?
Yes.
Good.
Now, to be fair, this is going to look like a whole bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, unless you actually know your artists.
But one thing that they do have, it's sexual harassment jokes, is that we do have the names of all of the paintings attached to an artist.
Yes.
So
So we
if
can,
you can figure out what a painting sounds like it's going to be called.
yes. So the artists, in order from left to right, are Salvador Dali, Salvador Dali, Wassily Kandinsky, Jackson Pollock, Georgia O'Keeffe, Pablo Picasso, and Vincent van Gogh.
Gog?
Gogh.
Gog?
Gogh.
Gog.
So, I guess we have to identify 18 paintings, so... Let's see how many of these you can get. Being that I have all the answers sitting in front of me, I kinda can't participate.
You may fire when ready.
Yes.
Is that number 4, Georgia?
That's correct. Georgia O'Keeffe.
Oh, man.
Black Iris the Second. How about this one?
I'm not gonna lie to you, that looks like the same style to me.
So your answer is...
Georgia O'Keeffe.
correct.
Oh.
Petunia and Coleus. How about this?
That is colored very strangely, which makes me think that it's a Picasso.
You say Picasso?
I would.
Incorrect. Van Gogh. Fishing boats on the beach at Saint Marine.
But yes, yes. Yep, that was the artist that I intended to say, but I fucked up the most basic part of understanding the difference between the two artists.
Next one is...
Picasso is the one that's abstract, and Van Gogh is the one where the colors are messed up. And that, I really can't tell what's going on, but it kind of looks like a Dali to me.
You say Dali?
I would.
It is Dali. Hallucinogenous bullfighter.
I'm gonna go with Georgia O'Keeffe again.
That is right. And the last one for the first row.
Oh, I know this one. It's got a weird, something about a coffee shop or a cafe. I don't remember who it's by though. I could look it up in the super duper encyclopediapedia. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. Don't you go anywhere. Don't you go anywhere.
I am not going anywhere.
Don't you do it. I'll know. I'll know.
Excuse me while I go get a drink.
Yep.
Kidding.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you. Oh no, I've misplaced the Encyclotherfto Mega.
That's all right. I don't think we need. I don't think we needed that much for the rest of the game. You may as well guess at it though.
All right. I'm gonna guess that it is a Van Gogh.
You got it. Night Cafe. So you have gotten 5 out of 6 so far, which is probably 5 more than I would ever have gotten.
I would have gotten the 6th one too if not for the meddling kids making me misremember.
You know, I saw that coming the way you presented that line. Okay, so round 2. What do we have? Or who do we have?
Or what do we have?
Or what is a good question?
I see you move. Oh wait, okay, that's gonna be a Dali.
It is a Dali. The Dream. Next one is.
I'm experiencing some lag, but okay, there. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, I'm having some trouble. I'm having some trouble finding it. Holy shit! I know I have it somewhere. I got it. I found it. We're good.
Is that a Pollock? No, Pollock is my.
No, it is a Pollock.
Okay.
The Moon Woman cuts the circle, or is it cuts the cheese? How about this one?
That looks like a Picasso.
You say Picasso?
I would. Is it?
Picasso is right.
Okay.
3 musicians. Well, how about this?
A very cerebral work.
Yeah, really.
I want to say Dali, but I'm gonna go with the second from the left guy instead.
You mean Kandinsky?
Yes.
Should have stuck with your first gut. It's
Okay.
Dali.
Yeah.
The 3 Sphinxes of Bikini. Interesting.
That looks like a Pollock.
Yeah, it is a Pollock.
He's smoking?
Overall
He is
composition,
smoking.
and he's got something in his mouth.
Pollock again?
If I'm looking at my little teeny miniature replicas right, yeah, I think so. Yep. Convergence number 10. Well, 5 out of 6 for this round again, so 10 out of 12 total.
That's a passing grade.
Indeed, indeed. And now the final. Here's the first one.
Oh, so simple. It's hardly chaotic at all. This is like just a very normal painting. It's definitely not in the style of George O'Keeffe, despite the floral fascination. I feel like the second guy from the left, who we haven't Kandinsky, like if I was running a numbers game, he would be the correct guess because he hasn't come up yet,
So you
and
say
everyone else has.
So you say
But
Kandinsky?
his works tend to be far more like fractal and geometric patterns than this. So I'm going to go with Van Gogh?
You say Van Gogh? You're right. Sunflowers. How about this?
The fuck am I even looking at? Alright. Most of the time when I say that, it's because it's a really low-res Jackson Pollock. Is that a really low-res Jackson Pollock?
No, sir. It is a really low res Wassily Kandinsky.
Okay, yep.
Colorful
See,
ensemble.
the geometric patterns would come through better with higher res.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell, like, a line from a splatter.
it's true.
Oh, that is Picasso.
That is absolutely Picasso. His version of the dream.
Mm-hmm. Less faces being tethered down, more faces being cloven asunder.
And what is this assortment of shit right here?
It doesn't look dribbly enough to look Pollock, so I'm going to say Kandinsky.
Kandinsky is right. Gorge improvisation.
Alright. Jesus, fuck Picasso.
Yeah.
Lighten the fuck up.
Yeah. Woman's head with self-portrait. And finally...
Is this
if
the
you,
final Kavizdarzhinsky?
you say who now?
Second from the left.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce his name?
Kandinsky.
Kandinsky.
And you have... Yep, Kandinsky.
Kandinsky.
Yes, Kandinsky.
I'll remember that one
And
for
you-
all of a week, and then I'll forget it.
And you and you have successfully maintained a record of only missing one per row, which is, in my estimation, incredibly respectable. Anyway, it's called Stories, and that's it.
Congratulations! You have earned a gold art recognition plaque.
Not really, I cheated. I have gifts. I have gifts, or not gifts. I have JPEGs of all these.
Yeah, you gotta get the full animation on the paintings to really appreciate them. Actually, I mock, but I feel like that would be a much better way of digitizing paintings, is a GIF of a painting being slowly rotated back and forth against harsh lights so you can see the three-dimensionality of the paints.
So sight reading. Yeah, this
Alright,
next puzzle is
go
music.
gadget. Music major, I choose you.
Yeah, so if you don't know how to read a treble clef, there are two mnemonics that we used in music class, and they were face, which gives you the space notes F, A, C, E going upward, And we also had every good boy deserves fudge to mark the lines. So E, G, B, D, F. Put them together, and you have the alphabet going from A through G and around the horn again. So this bottom note, the next step below this line of E becomes a D. And then up is E, D, up a step and a full jump reaches the line of G, A, G, G, B, B, and that is an A sharp or a B flat, which apparently doesn't play. And that is an A natural, is that little lightning bolt looking sign. G, G. And now placing notes. So now we have to use our ear for this. And how did this go? So we had basic reading, hearing, and memorizing for novice without sharps or flats. This time, well, standard we had to add sharps and flats as well as note lengths. This time I have yet to see what's actually different. Oops. Oh, my mistake. I did not mean to click there. Oh. Oh, it considers octaves now. I get it. Boom. F sharp. D. A. High A. F sharp again. G. Oh. I still had the sharp on, I didn't notice it. E. C sharp. A. G. C sharp. C sharp. That was not very well resolved, but anyway. Boom, 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 ba, ba, ba. It starts out like R Lee, which helps me here. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I forget that last note. Dun, dun. I mean, if you don't know those mnemonics, it's basically trial and error.
Congratulations! You have earned a gold music theory plaque.
Kind of like that, kind of like the microscope where you had to use the lines and parabolas and such to separate the colored viruses, bacteria. You remember the one, right?
Yep.
Like, you could see as you were adjusting those formulas, like how you're manipulating those shapes. Here, you're using your ear and what gets written to help you determine whether you got to play higher or lower, that kind of thing.
That is a very good observation.
I mean, in all reality, that's how I learned music. Like, I read a book and I practiced and understood. So I can't really knock this method of teaching.
Indeed.
Now with
I
this...
mean, you could. Hypocrisy is totally acceptable.
Up the stairway.
Good job! You have found my battery. It is imperative that you bring it to me immediately. And while you're at it, put a fresh charge on it.
Okay. I want you to refresh the video stream.
Yeah. Okie dokie.
But this is a set of puzzles that really, truly, deeply, bottom of my heart interests me.
Mm-hmm. Particularly the later one,
because-
as I recall.
Yeah, because I came very close to programming on this level, but I was thankfully one step removed from it. So I never really had to learn all of the logical operators.
Mm-hmm.
And I would really find this puzzle to be much more interesting if they spent more time with it and had more of a ramp up to learning. Like, if I was going to teach, and if I was going to make an edutainment game, it would probably be about logical operators and how to manipulate them to do magic, computer wizardry.
Which makes the
Because
last puzzle...
This is how the sauce really is made.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that a computer does is based off of this, and once you understand that you have all of the tools necessary to make the magic happen, you could build a computer of your own using anything that can compute these logical operators. Also, I have absolutely no visuals from you, so I'm gonna just
Yeah.
rejigger.
I would rate it as shit.
Alright, I have dejiggered and rejiggered. Now let's
Try this again.
hear me, baby, hold together. Alright, I'm in.
Very good.
Let's do this shit.
Very good, very good.
Let's blow this popsicle stand. You weren't even looking at the logical operators. No one has any idea what I was talking about. I was just ranting into the void about magic and computers and operators. It's fine, everyone. It's fine. It'll make sense.
Yes, they will understand it when we get to that puzzle.
Yep. Yeah.
But first...
I'm going to rant and rave about lighting toasters on fire accidentally, and it's all going to make sense.
But first, let's push this big shiny button that tells us to prep. Oh dear. We gone fucked it up, didn't we?
God damn it, Alpha!
Well, here's the second to last puzzle, which looks like it's really not that much removed from the standard where we had all the pretty colors and shit.
Why do you destroy everything you touch, Alpha?
Because it's fun, Ferret.
Like our marriage.
Excuse me?
Sorry, did you say something?
No, not at all. Anyway. So there's a visual pattern here. What do you notice about this first row?
That the beige is ever decreasing and the red is ever constant and the blue is ever increasing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also all in the same order. So I would go with second from the top on the right.
Indeed. And here, pretty much the same, except the beige represents the fill gauge, right?
Sure. So I would take the bottom right.
Yep. And here we have
Third from the top left.
and finally
Yum 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 yum. Top. No. Yeah. No. Yum. Okay. Third on the right.
are you sure? Oh yes,
Pretty
indeed.
sure.
Ooh, pretty light.
Congratulations! You have earned a gold Visual Series plaque.
That really had no notable difference from standard, where you were placing things in different positions than necessarily the end or the beginning. And it was the same progression of colors, so nothing really changed here. But in any event... Ah, shit. So... So there's a sparking chip we have to remove. So this is what Ferret was referring to earlier, is these logic gates. I think we should start on novice, since we said we were going to go through all of these anyway. What do you think?
That works for me.
Okay, so let's min out the skill level. And play on. So we place this damaged chip in the test socket, and that'll give us the logic we have to recreate. Signal noise, very, very bad, upset. Again, this is more verbose than needs to be, so I'll just explain it. So basically, the chip has two qualities about it, quality A and quality B. What this tells us is the possibilities of qualities that are true and qualities that are false, represented by 1 and 0 respectively. And what this last column here tells us is to make this overall fact true, which of these two qualities must match up. So here's what we say. For example, we have here
Nor. It's only true on a double zero.
on a both false, right?
Yeah.
For sake of demonstration, we're going to put this each gate into here as a means of demonstrating what each of these does. So an inverter basically says, well, it's showing an output as if it's inverting for B only. I wonder why. Alright, so it looks as if yeah, it looks as though the inverter is only looking at input B.
Which makes sense because it only has one tine.
Right. But why did it auto-select B, I wonder? Either way, if the input you're putting in is false, then it's going to output as a true, because that's the nature of an inverter. And takes two inputs, A and B, and only returns true if both of them are true. So because A and B on this bottom line represent as a true, then the output will also be true. And meaning both of them are true. So as you can see, it returns 0 for anything where there's even a single false. Conversely, an OR gate, if any input is true, regardless of any others that may or may not be, the output will return true. Because neither A nor B is reading a true, that's where you get the 0 on that row. The XOR is an exclusive OR gate, meaning exactly one input must be true for a true return. It doesn't work for neither. It doesn't work for both. A NAND gate means everything except what an AND gate would return. So where an AND gate would only say true if all inputs were true, this one says true for any other scenario. Now, knowing that, what do you suppose a NOR gate would do?
It would only reveal a true if it would only produce true if neither A nor B were true, which is what we're looking for.
Absolutely correct. So that's the gate we're going to be using. But first, the XNOR gate. Now, what do you suppose this gate does?
I don't remember.
So the exclusive OR gate means exactly one input must be true for a true return. XNOR is simply any other scenario.
So both true or both false.
Right. Or any situation where any number other than one input is reading true.
Mm-hmm.
But as we've determined, the NOR gate is what gives us a return that matches the one we're looking for. And that would be the end of explanation.
Yes, XNOR demands mixing.
Congratulations! You have earned a bronze Logic Gates plaque.
A bronze Logic Gate badge. Alright, so let's crank that difficulty.
Oh, there are more puzzles.
Oh, brilliant. My video has frozen. But it doesn't matter. Carry on the show. Go on without me. Stream enough for both of us, Alpha.
I'm not going to carry on without you. You said you wanted to, you said you had wanted to see all these puzzles.
Yes, C is the operative word here.
Well, tell you what. If we come across one that you can't figure out, then I'll just run it.
No, you misunderstand the subtleties of my innuendo. I want to see these puzzles.
Oh. You want to step right on up, don't you? You want to see that 3-input gate puzzle, don't you?
No, okay. What I'm saying is that I can't see anything because the video has frozen.
Oh, fucking A.
It's Skype, ladies and gentlemen. Microsoft.
I'm not applauding. Okay, what do you see?
I see the loading symbol. I would be willing to bet somebody's left testicle, perhaps even my own, that it's not going to resolve into a moving picture.
Reset it
as
one
we
last
both
time.
want.
Okay.
Yes, one last de-jigger.
Yeah.
Someone make me a cocktail, because we're using so many jiggers up in here.
Oh, cock. Hello. Alright, let's this again.
Once more into the breach.
Can you see?
I can see!
Good. Then let's do this from where we were. So here's the new chip. Which gate does this represent?
Oh, this is a, NOR?
A NOR?
I think this is NOR.
NOR was the one we just did.
Okay. It's the opposite of a XNOR, which was why I thought that it was gonna be NOR.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is 0, 0, 1. Oh, it's OR. No, because it's not OR. Well, it's not OR because 2.
It's some type of ore.
Alright. The different ORs are
OR, XOR,
NOR.
and XNOR. And NOR.
It's not. Oh wait, no, it is XNOR because this is mixing. It wants mixing.
Almost. It's not XNOR.
Oh, it's the opposite. Right, that's what I just said. Opposite of XNOR.
It's
So what is the opposite of XNOR?
XOR.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
See,
the one.
and this is why I wanted to really bite into these logic gates, because you do it once and you don't practice all of the different gates. You just show that you know one of the gates, but I really want inferior naughty. Oh my. I really want something that allows me. Okay, this is another XNOR. No, not XNOR. This is the one that only accepts. It's the opposite of and.
No.
Damn it! I need a list of these gates.
Open up page 29 of the encyclo.
Okay.
Do you remember where it is?
Okay, I'll get it. Encyclo. Okay, page 29.
Page 29.
29. Alright, page 20. Oh, okay. Page 29. Printed page 29 or page 29 of the PDF?
Printed page 29.
Okay. Okay. Volcano stack computer console. Okay. I see it on 32. And no, lock the opposite of end. NAND. Is it NAND? Let me go back to this.
I have the NAND in the test now.
Oh, that's not right. That's not right. Okay, it's only true when everything else is false. We just did this. Someone is screaming at their chat because we just did this. Oh! Alpha is 1. It's NOR. It's NOR. NOR is the correct answer.
Yeah, it sure is.
Excellent.
All right, I think it's time we step up a little bit.
Turn pineapple down for what?
Wait, what was it? Somebody saying in the chat because I can't actually read it.
I'm not looking at the chat either. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Okay. Okay. Don't panic. Don't panic. It's not inverter because of the second to last one.
Mm.
All no's equals a yes. That's really important to know. Because there are very few where all no's equal a yes. So it looks like if there's two no, okay. Alright, why is 0, 0, 1 a no? But 1, 0, 0 a yes. Do we need two circuits?
There, I'll give you a hint here based on what's in the circuit area. Is that we have to pick 2 out of the 3 inputs on this level.
Oh, Jeezy Pete's. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing.
One of the inputs here does not matter for the final answer.
Okay, well...
Basically, this comes down to...
It can't be A. A can't be the one that doesn't matter.
Really?
It can't be because the first two have the same C and B and have different outputs.
Hmm.
Alright. Am I crazy?
I mean, I can tell you that A is indeed the one that doesn't matter.
Okay. Then explain to me why the first row and the second row have a different output. If A doesn't matter...
Because look at the bottom 3 as opposed to 2, 3, and 4. You have 1, 0, 1 and 1, 0, 1 in 2 different places, and yet they're presenting something different. They'd both present the same if A actually affected the outcome. I mean, wouldn't you think?
But what about the first row and the second row, which have the same C and B, but have different outputs? A clearly matters. Right? Have I gone totally mad? Am I crazier than a coconut? Am I totally nuts?
Actually, you may be onto something here. Let me think. Because what I'm looking at is on the bottom, where there's a 0 that has its 0 returned. Okay, I know why I was thinking what I was thinking. I know what the gate is. And if I'm right about this, it took me less than 2 seconds to actually come up with. I think if you notice the fact that B and C come out true with 0, 0, 0, 1, and 1, 0, but not with 1, 1. That's the property of a NAND gate. So let's suppose that...
Alright, so not and. I just don't understand how the second gate interacts with the first one.
Here's what I suspect. I'll try it and then I'll explain it if it works. It didn't work. Alright, so what have I missed here?
Okay, so there's only one operator,
Oh, I
Two
can.
of these matter.
Oh, I can.
Okay.
I can add a second gate. Okay. Let's think about this for a second.
Let's think about this for many seconds. All right, let's assume that one of them doesn't matter, and that's your theory, which is true. So
A has to have an inverter put on it.
okay, but that's not true because of the second to last.
All right.
So let's pretend that B doesn't matter. Yes, B doesn't matter. I think.
You say
I
B?
suspect. I suspect that B is the one that doesn't matter. So, A, C... AC1 is 0, 0. Okay, that would be the one that mixes. The one that mixes is XNOR. Does XNOR fit? Does XNOR fit? No, because the second to last one would XNOR not work. Because the second to last one... Alright, so it only works when they're both
When we have 3
0.
gates.
We have 3 gates.
I know. I wish it would have I wish it would have stayed on that screen so we could actually see what I did. But here's what I did. Take a look at. Well, here, take a look at what I did.
I don't see you doing anything. It must be frozen again! Yay! Isn't this just wonderful, Alpha?
Sure. Real fucking great. Alright, so you're still seeing a freeze then?
I'm still seeing before you solved it.
Okay. While you're resetting the call, I'm going to draw this out. Because I did solve it. It just didn't stay on. Oh, hey. Alright, so... No, shut up. Alright, so here's what I attempted to do. Okay, so we can be clear that what I have here is an inverter gate, right? Are you seeing paint? Or
I'm seeing paint, yes. Okay, so A is logic gating to...
an inverter.
Okay, so A inverter.
Yep.
Alpha?
Hey.
Alright, so A inverter.
A inverter. I am now drawing an XOR gate.
Are you?
Can you no longer see it?
No. Okay.
Really?
I would love to finish this conversation, but Skype is just convincing me to commit acts of domestic terrorism.
Well, you know what? At this point, I think we can find off-screen some other exercise for these logic puzzles. For right now, I'm just gonna put a fucking end to this.
Yes, let's stake this right through the heart.
Now,
and then
you know
put a bow on it.
Yeah, now you know what's coming next because you saw it in the trial run. The island is a ship, and we're just going back.
Is it a ship or not?
Are you suggesting this may be an illusion of reality? Yeah, so what of this battery? And again, it's taking a long roundabout scenic route. So yeah, it's a massage chair.
Not just a massage chair, this is a recliner slash foot massager slash drink holder. If memory serves.
Yes.
I'm still looking at your A logic gate.
Yeah, at this point it's just the credits that you've seen before, so I mean we're gonna put an end to this at this point. And we'll see about tracking down yeah, you know what? I don't even care about the credits. So basically a lot of really good programmers came up with this. I mean, what do you think of it overall as a as an educational thing?
I think that for the most part it does its job. There are a couple of things where you would have trouble arguing that it's educational. It does get you to hold even the things that are frustrating because they're extreme guess and check brute force solutions, still force you to hold numbers in your brain and do mental math. So I think that there is some value to them. I just think that hey, this is really difficult to solve, and we're not going to give you the tools to solve it. We're not going to teach you the formulas and the math to solve it. So go get an older person to help you, or go brute force it, or go get fucked. It's not the best, but overall I think this game is definitely on the higher end of the educational spectrum for a lot of edutainment games. Because let me tell you, my mother insisted that any computer game that came into the house had to have educational value until I was like 12. And I played a lot of garbage edutainment games that taught me nothing. And so I appreciate that this one does. You know, it really does. Like, I am learning things as a 33-year-old adult from playing those logic gate puzzles, and I appreciate that. That is of real value. And I appreciate that it starts low and slow and has 3 different difficulty levels, sometimes which are just false difficulty.
Sure.
But, you know, sometimes they really do pile in a lot of complexity. I think that the word puzzles were too complex for their programming ability to really make sense, so it was... I mean, what are you teaching? You're finding some like 80s comedians that came up with some funny quotes that you like, and you're trying to throw those at 8-year-olds? Like, get out of here.
Yeah, really.
That's silly.
Mm-hmm.
So the word scrambles were pretty garbage. I'm going to say that the paintings, and this might be a little controversial, I feel like the painting puzzle would only be appropriate for a certain age group.
Mm-hmm.
I think once you hit about 12, maybe for girls, 14 maybe for boys, that painting puzzle becomes something educational, because you're testing the pattern recognition and saying like, what is the style of each painter? And you can kind of teach that with the first painting they learn, and you begin to learn from there. So I think that is a puzzle that you are supposed to fail. You're supposed to fail it a whole bunch of times until you've learned to correctly identify every painter's style once, and then you can pick them out. And you fail fewer and fewer times until you get them all right. I think that that's acceptable. I think that as adults, that's a really frustrating way of doing things because we've had the joy of failure beaten out of us. You know, we think of failure as being like embarrassed in front of the boss and not earning your paycheck,
Yeah.
or being that guy. But like kids have a sense of like you fail, you try again, you fail again, you try again. You know, witness me. And I think that that's great, and I think that that works. So it's interesting coming at it as an adult. But that said, I don't think that children before the age of around 12 would be able to engage in that kind of abstract thinking of what is the style of this art.
Hmm.
I think that that is too high order for a concrete mind to engage in, and I don't think that most kids would be able to do that other than with pure brute force of like failing every single one until you learned every single one without recognizing a pattern to who did what.
Mm. Yeah, I mean,
What are your thoughts? Just in general.
I mean, for those puzzles, you pretty much took the thoughts out of my head. I don't know.
Normally when I take stuff out of somebody's head, I need a claw hammer.
Normally, I'm not a big brute force guy, like, for anything. I would rather there be some kind of method, some kind of algorithm, some kind of program, which for me, I think puts some points against the algebra microscope puzzle, in that unless you know, like, in your head how those shapes get manipulated, that's all it is a brute force trial and error. And the thing about learning music at the most fundamental level is that's also trial and error until you know how to read and how to hear. I guess at the end of the day, it's like reading anything in and of itself. Like, how do you learn how to read? You keep on practicing, right? Like, you're given the basics of how certain sounds are to be made. What was that called? Phonics?
Mm-hmm.
And once you understand that, then you start putting them together and doing more advanced things with those skills. I think what I literally just came up with is that all learning has a basis in brute force practice. Like the understanding,
agree to that.
Like the understanding of basic skills. Like, you have to just keep on doing it until you understand it, and then the algorithms come as you're able to put basic skills together. Because think about how computers operate. They function at the very most basic level using arithmetic, right? And then use that arithmetic to do more complex things. I mean, does it sound like I'm off base on that thought, or?
No. You got a point there.
I never really thought about it until I started dissecting this and finding that, like, you have to brute force algebraic expressions to learn how they shape. You have to brute force the ability to read English. You have to brute force the ability to hear music.
Well, I think that there's something to be said for with any pattern recognition, there is a certain amount of seeing a pattern once, and you have to fail the first time you see the pattern.
Mm.
You know, like, no matter how you end up seeing that pattern, it's going to... if you succeed the first time, it's purely from an accident.
Mm.
And I think there's something to be said for acknowledging that you need to be able to see something at least once before you can really get it.
Sure, because otherwise, how do you get it?
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you just accidentally stumbled upon a solution.
Mm. I mean, that's pretty much my thoughts. So I never recognized just how much practice goes into learning anything at the bottom level, and how much tying basics together comes into the advanced. But yeah, that's something I never thought of. And that said, I'm glad I did this.
Oh, good.
Good too to have the Omni Genius of all with me.
Oh, that's my name.
Well, we'll certainly have to find another game to do this with. I want to see about doing a few more series though before expanding on any of them, just to see what actually goes.
Mm-hmm.
To that point, I may as well, for the end of this stream, advertise the Alter Ego series I'm doing. Are you familiar with that game?
No, I don't think I am.
Okay, so on my channel is a playlist called Alpha Presents Live Your Best Life. And in that, I'm playing this life simulator DOS game called Alter Ego, where you're presented scenarios from infancy all the way up to old age. And given each scenario, you have to respond with a mood and an action. And then you have a whole list of stats and attributes that get affected according to the decisions you make and the results they bear. So essentially, you're choosing how to live every scenario of your life and having that affect things about you. I did one pilot episode. Another friend of mine, Chibi, is one episode into hers. Both of those are documented in that playlist, so if you want to check that out and get an idea of what that looks like, might be something you might be interested in being a part of.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, since I'm here, why don't I provide you the link to that list here and now?
Right, meow.
Right, meow. That is... where are you at? There you at. Sending it over to you on Discord.
Donga. Received.
It is that right there. If you watch episode 2, you'll get far more entertainment while still getting the same idea from the beginning. Because the first episode was just my pilot. Second episode is a whole different run. But yeah, if you look through that, you'll see the first couple stages. Chibi and I will be continuing that at some point later in time. We haven't figured that out yet. Hopefully soon, though. And yeah, that was, overall, that was a really nice experience, and I appreciate having your help with it.
My pleasure.
All right, with that, until next time, I am Alpha.
And I'm Ferret.
And this has been Growing Up Edutained. I will see you guys on the next show, and have an Alpha night.
Ta-ta for now.